Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an origami wreath swan style. We'll be using wood, paper, rose leaves, ribbon, and hot glue. First thing you're going to want to have is a wooden form. You can use whatever measurement you would like. I'm personally using a 6-inch wreath. We will start folding our origami flowers. I'll start by teaching you how to fold 3 kusudama flowers. They are modular, which means they take more than one sheet of paper to complete. I just really like the shape. I think the flower just looks like it's always at the peak of its bloom, which I feel is the beauty of natural flowers because it's only in that state for so long before it dies, but origami flowers don't die. I also chose to paint the ring wreath mold white. I feel like that's just a really great base to start with. So I have 5 petals folded. Now I have the items I need to complete my flower. Next, I'm going to glue our surfaces together right here. And then we will hold it together with a binder clip. And I'm using a brush to apply the glue. So you can see I'm just putting a nice layer. I want it to be evenly coated. It doesn't need to be at the very edge because once you put the surfaces together, the idea is you don't want the glue to seep through. And it's fine if it does, but of course you just want to keep everything as neat and tidy as you can. And because I don't want to sit here and hold these until it dries, I use binder clips. And we're going to repeat the process. And we'll finish the next 2 kusudama flowers while that's drying. And as you can see, I did cut my paper myself, but it's not perfectly square. Some people, they need to make it perfectly square to continue. I personally can go either way. I've learned to embrace being okay with not making every fold perfect because I make so many of them, it's unrealistic to make all of them perfect, and I would probably take the happiness out of my craft if I tried to make all of my origamis perfect. So, moral of the story, it's okay if it's not perfect. It's okay if it's not perfect. You have to enjoy the process, and the more you do the process, the more perfect it's gonna feel. Oh, oops. All right. One more flower to go. All right, woohoo! So now we just have to glue the remaining petals. Easy. allow the petal to have the kind of shape that I want it. So I do the extra step of kind of smushing it and I guess lightly creasing the edges a little bit on the side so it retains its shape. We're going to take our wreath, and has been hiding the whole time, but I have some ribbon. I thought it would be nice to make a bow. Tie the bow first to the wreath and then put the origami flowers around it. It'll be easier. So after you cut your desired length, you want to make sure, I guess your wreath is just kind of inside. It's wrapped around. You want to even out your ribbon. Tie a bow. And I personally want my ribbon on the edge versus facing, I guess, above, so that when you are hanging it on the wall or presenting it face out, the ribbon is front and center. Bunny ears. There we go, see? I'll go ahead and just trim the edges. I'm going to add a dollop of hot glue here. You can see I'm just applying not a large amount, but enough to cover the surface. Just going to very gently move it over. Okay, now I have a cute little bow. I'll unclip the rest of the petals. Quality control, very important. I'm going to demonstrate how I glue each of these petals together, and this is my way of streamlining this process. For this part, what I do is I have a line of hot glue at the edge of the center. You don't need a lot. And I don't need to go all the way from the top to the bottom. I literally just go in the center margins, essentially. Next, I'm going to grab a second petal, and I'm going to match, I'm going to line up the top creases here where we added the quick dry glue before. We're going to quickly press the petals together. You just have to repeat this a couple more times. Again, thin line, you want to be as neat as possible because A, you don't want to burn yourself. That is number one priority. But B, it keeps your flower looking nice and neat as well. And then I have a trick for the last petal, which is the fifth one, because the center can get a little tricky. I just prefer to put it on the petal itself, on the last petal itself on both sides. And just carefully but quickly wedge it in. You want to line up your bottom points as well and your top points. So we have created our first Kusudama flower. Now to complete the rest. Now we have completed 3 of our Kusudama flowers. So this is the fun part. I also have some artificial rose leaves. All right, so I'm just going to have fun with the placement. I changed my mind. I didn't like the way the ribbon looked and the placement of the flowers, so I just undid the ribbon. It's glued down, not a big deal, again with pivoting. I like how that looks. So you're going to have to hold things in place just for a moment here. And you can see how tacky it's getting because I let it just cool for a moment after I applied it. I could just wrap the stem. Ah! Oh God. And then we have to glue our last flower. You want to be mindful as well as to how much of the flowers are protruding to the back. And you can tell how much it will protrude from the wall by how we lay it on the table. Just taking a peek to see if there is a yeah. I'm gonna add one more leaf. It's just a nice balance. Then you can glue those parts down. All right, we can turn off our glue gun. So initially, I wanted to use the ribbon to add a really nice bow. I didn't like the bow. I already mentioned pivoting during the creative process. So I'm going to curl my ribbon. And I think I'm really liking how it looks. And of course, this is just my style. You can make whatever changes, adjustments to the positioning of the leaves, to the type of ribbon. So here's our wreath. Now you just need to add wire at the top and you're all set.